Amendment be agreed to, and I call the member for Wannon.
Thanks, Mr Deputy Speaker, and can I just commend the member for Herbert, especially for the telling points he made then at the end of his speech about what this Green Army project is all about. He understands that this is the government saying to young people, we're there to help you, we're there to give you a hand, we're there to try and show you a path that will lead you to get experience in working, which can then lead to you having meaningful employment. And as we all know, the best thing we can do for our young people, the best thing we can do is give them work, and that is what this government is all about. Mr Deputy Speaker, it's interesting we're having this debate the day after the budget, because with the budget being handed down last night, we saw quite tellingly that the Treasurer explained the budget situation. And the key thing, and it was a sad thing which came out of it, was the extent of the mess which has been left to us to clean up. And that is epitomised in one simple sum, and that is the debt interest bill that we will be paying unless we do something to fix the mess. $1 billion per month. $1 billion per month if we don't fix up the mess. And when it comes to the Green Army, it's really interesting to see that, because that is probably 2 or 3 or 4 or maybe 10 Green Army projects every month that is going to waste, which can't happen because of this interest bill. If you look at it in terms of cancer centres, if you look at it in terms of new hospitals, if you look at it in terms of new schools, $1 billion per month is what that interest bill is. And that is why the Treasurer and this government are united in fixing the budget mess which was left behind us, so that we can move on and make sure that we have the financial ability to roll out excellent projects like these Green Army projects. Now, I've been very fortunate in the electorate of Wannon, because through the very good work of the Minister for Environment and also his parliamentary secretary, Senator Simon Birmingham, I was able to achieve 4 of these Green Army projects in my electorate. Now, I hate to big note myself, because the member for Herbert, I'm sure there are more coming your way, and I must say I would be more than happy to campaign for you to get some for Magnetic Island, those walking trails. I've actually walked a few of those trails, and that would be a great Green Army initiative there, so I look forward to supporting you in approaching the relevant minister and parliamentary secretary on that. But I was extremely fortunate to get 4 key projects in this area, and I would thank both the Minister for Environment and the parliamentary secretary for taking the time to come down to the electorate of Wannon and to speak with community groups, to speak with farmers, and to really get a good grasp of what the needs are in our local community when it comes to environmental measures. And it's not great big new taxes. That's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for a great big new tax which will cripple our dairy industry. What we're looking for is good, practical, sustainable projects which will help on the ground our local environment, and that's what this Green Army project is all about. And it is sensible and practical in not only will it achieve good things on the ground, but it also provides potential pathways for young people into employment. So it is a program which deserves serious commendation. The 4 projects that I got approval for in the lead-up to the election are interesting and diverse projects. And I'll go through and I'll mention them. The first one is a commitment to preserve the Corangamite walking trails. As we all know, walking trails are very important to our local communities because we want to make sure that they're fit and active and they have the space and the trails for them to be able to exercise and use. But it's also, they are very important for tourism, because if you have excellent trails, tourists will come and use them. So it is fantastic for your local community, but it also brings in income for them. And this is what these Corangamite walking trails will do. So for us to be able to make sure that they are of a very good standard, that they've got the right signage on them, that they can become an attraction not only for the local community but for those outside the local community to come and use, is a very good initiative. And I congratulate the Corangamite local government for putting forward this proposal, and I hope that this initiative will be a Green Army success story, and I was quite happy to support it because I think it will. Another one of the proposals was to do with the Heytesbury Biofund project. Now, this is a project which the Parliamentary Secretary came down and announced for me, and what it does is, with a local workforce capable of assisting the well-established Biofund project and community planning program, this project involves revegetation works in the Heytesbury region to increase biodiversity, protect waterways, improve water quality and provide buffers against impacts such as nutrition runoff. This project is in the heart of Australia's best dairy producing area, and what it does is it will work with landowners to make sure that we continue to maintain the environment and make sure that when it comes to nutrients and such things, that the runoffs don't impact on waterways, etc. Another excellent project, and I commend the Heytesbury District Landcare Network for their initiative in putting this project forward. And the Heytesbury District Landcare Network is an excellent landcare network. They are engaged in the community. They've got active people who are always looking for ways to improve the land in their region, and I commend them for putting this proposal forward. The next proposal which we were able to get is the Goldfields Employment and Learning Centre Trees for the Green Army project, and this project is based in Maryborough, and it's based in a nursery there, where they are looking to work with local landcare groups to not only grow the shrubs, but then go out and plant them and liaise with landcare groups and with farmers to not only grow the shrubs, but then to make sure that they can be planted on the farms where the shrubs are needed. And once again, the Goldfields Employment and Learning Centre have done a great job in putting this proposal forward. They understand, because they spend a lot of time with young people in the central Goldfields area, trying to help them in the learning space, in the engagement space, and they see this as a key initiative for making sure the young people in that community have another pathway to potential employment. So once again, an excellent proposal, and I look forward to working with them to make sure that this project hits the ground running and does the much-needed work that is required in that area, in ensuring that young people, and especially those of low socio-economic disadvantage, have this opportunity to get out there, do some meaningful and worthwhile work, get that experience that comes with doing that, and then getting the self-confidence to be able to go on and find work. The final one, Mr Deputy Speaker, is the Moyne Resilient Farms project. And once again, this was a project which was announced by the Parliamentary Secretary when he came down to Wannon. And it will provide landholders in the Moyne Resilient Farms project with a local workforce capable of assisting with tree planting, weed removal and direct seeding. A key part of the project is that landholders are responsible for securing planting labour externally or providing it for themselves. The Green Army commitment will ensure that landholders with large quantities of trees to plant can access local labour and provide youth with on-hand real job opportunities in the rural landscape that needs skilled young people to fill future jobs. So this is a way of saying to young people, come and get some experience, come and get some practice, especially when it comes to farming, and there are potential opportunities there for you then to join that local workforce. Because one of the things we're finding in the agriculture sector is more and more there are opportunities there for young people who do want to get work in the agriculture sector. So if you're prepared to engage, and if you're prepared to say, yes, this is the type of work that I want to do, then there are opportunities there. And this project is one way of giving some experience to young people of what it's like working on the land. Because it's not for everyone, it's not easy. But if you come, do it, like it, experience, there are opportunities there for you to find work opportunities. And I think that is the key thing. It's encouraging young people and showing them that there are opportunities there, and doing so in a worthwhile way, doing so in a way where they get that sense of pride from being able to say, and I must confess I've done this myself, of saying, I've put that tree plantation in. I've put that tree plantation in. And, you know, one of the things as a young boy putting tree plantations in that I've had the joy of later in life is to go back and to see those trees fully grown. And it's, you know, it's not going to change the earth, but it is a small contribution that you've made, and it's something which great pride. And I must say, even at home on our very small nuisance block, I've planted with my youngest daughter some trees, and I take great pride in watching that plantation grow. And 2 years ago, the trees were up to my knee. They were as high as she was, and now they tower above her and they're higher than me. And that's in a couple of years. And you get that great sense of achievement of saying that's something permanent which is there. And that is what, just one example of what this Green Army project can provide. I must confess that this Green Army projects, the way that the Minister for Environment has gone out and advocated on behalf of this program is a credit to him. He obviously has grasped and understands clearly the benefits that this program can bring, and he has very much led the way in going around the countryside and making sure that there are projects right across Australia which are going to be now rolled out since the Australian people made the decision that they wanted to elect a new government to get Australia heading on the right path again. And this is another one of those commitments that we took to the election, which is now being implemented. And one of the key things about this program is that the policy was well thought of, it's been well laid out, and it isn't being rushed. And so what we're going to see is we're going to ensure that it is administered and implemented in the correct way. You know, we're seeing the tragedy now of as we're seeing the evidence of what came from a program which was rushed and wasn't implemented, and OH&S wasn't taken into consideration. What we're seeing here is a minister on top of his brief, a program which has been well thought out and sensible, and one which will lead to real tangible benefits. And that is important, and I hope that those on the other side, I really do, have taken note of that and are starting to understand that, you know, if they ever are given the opportunity again, this is the way you go about developing policy and implementing it. I really do hope that they're learning the lessons about what a good, mature adult government can deliver and how you should go about delivering for the Australian people. Because through this program and in particular, what we saw in the budget last night, the adults are back in charge. They're back in charge, and this nation is all the better for it.
Thank the member for Wannon. The question